Hello, this is Up Trail 71 and we're at the Porcupine Mountains up here in northern Michigan. We had a change in our original plans. We were going to go down to the Jordan River pathway in the northern part of lower Michigan, but they had a lot of rain in the forecast. Then this morning I checked the weather and it's going to be decent up here at the Porcupine Mountains. So we decided to reserve a campsite on Lake Superior. And our original plans up here at the Porcupine Mountains was to start at the Lake of the Clouds. But the road is closed for some kind of emergency. So we had to drive down to the Lake Superior trailhead. And we get to hike this. Last time we did this 5 years ago, is an extremely muddy trail. Very wet. Of course that was after a major thunderstorm. That could have been a factor. We'll find out. But we got about 9 miles to the campsite. And here's a sign that we're coming up to. We'll take a look at this. We're on a Lake Superior Trail. Got a buckshot cabin 3 miles. Big Carp River, that's where we'll be going to. It's 9 miles from here. The campsite will be just past that. This is where we're starting at. And we'll be taking this Lake Superior Trail all the way down to about here. I think it's Lake Superior site number 9.
Yes, and a black flies our horse.
Well, we start with this very moderate uphill climb. We should get some views from up here of Lake Superior. Looks like we have our first viewing area. Nice little bench here overlooking the lake. That's a nice view. A lot of overcast today. The sun should be coming out, at least for tomorrow. Well, it looks like we just reached the highest point on this trail. Now I'll be going downhill for most of the way to our campsite. Then tomorrow we'll get our good climbs. There's a little bridge. Now in the wet season, this will actually look like a river coming through. You can see there's a little bit of water running through this little valley. We're still waiting to see what happens when you get to the Lake Superior Trail section where you're down to the lake level. I have a feeling it'll be a little muddy. That's a really neat looking part of the trail. All the moss growing. Well, at least some of the sections on this trail, you'll find some nice boardwalks like this, rather than walking through a lot of mud, especially when it's wet. Here we come up this sign, buckshot cabin. Straight ahead down there. Of course, this is the Lake Superior Trail that we continue on. There are a few cabins in this park that a person can rent. For about the last quarter of a mile, we've been hiking through this area. It's all wind blown, and there's just hundreds and hundreds of trees blown over. But of course, the trail is all cleared out. I think this happened just a few years ago. And now we're starting to hit some muddy sections. Not real bad yet. Here we have campsites LS 15 and 16. It looks like it's real nice. Very nice, right on the lake. The trails have gotten a little better. Coming up to another campsite here. Nice flowers. We're going to stop right here along the lake for a quick break. And this should be Lone Rock, just off the shore in Lake Superior. Well, so far it looks like the trail conditions are improving a lot. We had about a 2 mile stretch where there was a lot of mud. And blown down trees weren't too bad because most of them are cut out. We got a few to go around or climb over or under. And the flies are definitely out. So we do have our homemade fly spray on. That does help them from biting, but they still are very pesky, buzzing around your head. Well, just when I was starting to say that trail was getting better, and it was for a little while, now we found this nice little wet section. And right down here is campsite number 12, just off the trail. So we're getting closer to our campsite. Well, for our first time on this trail, we'll be hiking very close to Lake Superior. Yeah, I get a little muddy section. I think we'll follow the shoreline. I believe that's what we did last time. Helps you skip some muddy sections. Not the easiest hiking, but it's not real bad. It's actually nice. I like these rock formations. Oh, look at this. This is beautiful. Now, this has got to be the nicest stream so far in this trail. Definitely a good water source if you don't decide not to take it from Lake Superior. Lake Superior can be kind of mixed with the iron ore color a lot of times, especially when the waves are larger, splashing up on the shore. We actually just passed by campsite number 11, I believe that one was. Now the next one will be the campsite that we stayed at in the past. And we're just climbing up this ridge. It's steep on the sides. I got the blue blaze, means we're still on the trail. And this trail is definitely not easy hiking. It's nice because you fall along the shore like this, but the rocks definitely slow you down. The mud. This 9-mile trail is definitely a lot harder than some of the other trails I've done. Not even close to comparing it with the Fife Lake a couple of weeks ago. That trail was easy hiking. We knocked off the 21 miles just under 8 hours. But here, you would definitely take a lot longer. I'm going to stop for a quick little snack. Actually eat this on the trail. And this is when we have just a mixed fruit and one of these little caramel candies. And this will be campsite LS10. It's one that we stayed at several times. It's a very nice site. And our campsite will be next. And you see Kathy. She's already way up on that ridge. There's a cool looking valley. That little winding stream down there. Well, we made it to the Big Carp River. That means we have completed this 9-mile trail. Now we'll be looking for a campsite. So we have to go down this hill and then it'll be a bridge. Well, it'll be nice to cross it right here. Yeah, the original bridge was just down there a little ways. That got washed out during one of the storms. So we take a left. And the bridge will be just over here, maybe 400 feet or so. And just quickly we arrived at the new bridge. This new bridge is cool. Well, I think they built it a couple years ago. See the large logs that they used. And that's the Big Carp River. You see a rock that comes out. That was part of where the old bridge went. And then just across the river is a cabin, one that you can rent right on the lake. Well, it looks like we're coming up to a campsite. I'll have to check the sign. LS9. That'll be our campsite for the night. What do you think?
Looks like a campsite.
Looks like a nice campsite right on the lake. All my favorite campsites so far that I've ever been to are the ones that have been on Lake Superior. For some reason, I always enjoy camping on this lake the most. I mean, it's a lot of fun camping in other areas also. There's just something special about this lake. I guess it's because it's the world's largest freshwater lake, and that water is cold. We got a fire ring, kind of protected with these logs from the wind off the lake.
Feels good to get that pack off.
Now I'm going to filter some water right out of Lake Superior. Well, that's clear water. You almost have to filter something like that. Well, now we're going to have our dinner. I mixed up some blue Gatorade. Got my long-handled polished fork. And we're going to have some mac and cheese, and my wife's got some coffee. And I'm also going to boil up a little more water for these Idaho mashed potatoes. Well, what do you think about our setup for our hammocks? Can't beat this right on the lake. The sun will be setting, I'd say within an hour. For the most part, we have both our hammocks set up. I'll give a quick rundown on what we have. Both of us using the edge tarps from War Bonnet. Those tarps are old. I think we bought them back in around 2014 or 15. I have my 11-foot Darien Dream hammock. I think I've had that one for about 3 years now. Then I have an Enlightened Equipment under quilt. And same with the top quilt, they're overkill. These are 20 degree. And they're predicting it to get down to about 42, 43 tonight. There's my top quilt and Enlightened Equipment. And one of my new items is this pillow I bought from Dutch. It's an Argon Pillow. I think it charges around $18 for it. Now I did get to use, I tested it once. That was for first time 2 weeks ago at Fife Lake. We met up with Jason Wish. It's a little on the small side, as you can tell, which is alright. I just keep right inside the hammock when I pack it up. And it's very comfortable and warm. That's what I'll say on the positive side. A little small, but comfortable and warm. So that was a good buy. And I think a couple of winters ago, my wife picked up these little down booties from Z-Packs. They're not cheap. I think they cost around $60, $70. But they're warm, nice. I'm just looking forward to listening to the rolling waves all night. And when you wake up in the morning, your first view is going to be a lake just like this. Well, maybe not with the sun setting, but we'll get a sun morning rise from the other side. Oh, it's time to make a nice warm hot fire. The main reason for a fire is to help keep some of the bugs away.
Yes, I'm actually very comfortable here.
And of course we have a sliver of the moon setting. we're going to sit by this nice fire for another half an hour or so. Then we're going to jump into our hammocks and just relax, listen to the lake, and fall asleep to the waves. We'll see you in the morning. Good morning, everyone. We're just getting up. It was a very nice night last night. Slept very good right next to the lake with the rolling waves coming in. I see we're just going to start breaking down, make ourselves a quick breakfast, then get on a trail very soon. Oh, looks like my wife already got the bags off the bear pole. That bear pole's a little crooked. I've had a bear pulling on it one time. And there's a bar right there that you use to get your bear bags off. I'll let my breakfast rehydrate. I have a little apple cider right now. Now you can see we have some ducks out in the lake. Now we now have everything packed up. Made sure everything's clean around the campsite. I'll only be getting on a trail. We'll cross this bridge, and rather than going straight, we'll be taking a right, following the Big Carp River along that side. Oh, what do you think this for a view? High up on the sandbank. And we'll continue along this trail. We'll be following along the Big Carp River for about the next half mile or so. We'll be getting some really nice views with rapids, some small waterfalls. And this will be Overlook for Shining Cloud Falls, one of the more popular waterfalls in this park. And there's a very nice campsite near it. Now you can walk down to this waterfall. I'm not going to do that today. Maybe some other time. I believe I have another video at one time where I did walk down there. And this will be at the very top of the Shining Cloud Falls. There's multiple tiers of waterfalls on that one. And right next to it is one of the most popular campsites right down here. We haven't stayed there yet, but someday we will. Well, she's wondering where our trail goes. It goes right through there. Maybe we'll try sneak over to the right and then go around it. Yeah, that's part of hiking. Well, I decided to go to the left. You can see there's a lot of bugs in this area. You see old growth on a tree. And she's still walking over there, coming this direction. Oh, look at down there. A robin's egg is hatched. Oh good, I hear some water. It looks like we'd be going downhill. At least we're done with this swampy section. The arrow shows to the left. So we have a stream crossing right here. Or just a couple hundred feet down the stream, some nice trees that we usually cross. Wow, we already made it to this junction. It looks like the Lake of the Clouds parking lot is 5 miles. So that means we are right here. And we have to go up to Lake of Clouds. Actually, we parked down by the Lake Superior Trail trailhead. So we'll have another almost extra mile hike. Well, this is going to be our stream crossing. One of the little bit deeper areas. At least the water is down a lot right now. Sometimes this will be a lot deeper. I have no idea what that is right there. Ooh, is that cold? Well, here I go. There. Well, what do you think?
I think I'll stand here, wait till I turn numb so I start feeling anymore.
Oh, that water is cold. Actually, I'm still standing in it. I should get out.
Ouch. The rocks are sharp.
I think I'll filter a little bit of this water because we do got a lot of hiking uphill up this mountain right after this stream. Slippery rocks, are you sharp?
Sharp?
There, you're almost done.
I know.
I just finished filtering water out of this ice cold stream and applied some sunscreen on because it is definitely sunny out. Now we're going to be right back on the trail, and next will be some good climbs for the next couple of miles. But that's where we can get the awesome views from the escarpment and the Lake of the Clouds. Here's campsite BC4. And right at that stream crossing there's a really nice campsite. But of course, this time of year the bugs are starting to come out. So that makes it a little challenging. For us, we continue on the trail. Oh, we're a good 2 miles into this hike since the stream crossing. We're hiking this old growth forest. It's actually really neat in here. We went up a little bit in elevation we gained. Not a whole lot, and it's leveled off for a while, but I know very soon, within a mile for sure, we're going to have a steep climb. This is kind of a cool area with these rocks. Came down from the side of this mountain right here. I know further up you can see some of the cliffs. We're almost to the top. Getting very close to, well, now I'm starting to get a few cliff views. Want to see what it looks like? And we have just a little bit of climbing to do. Then it'll flatten out for a ways. And here we are. All the nice views from up on this escarpment. This will be one of the campsites that we stayed at. I think it was that last year or 2 years ago. Maybe 2 years ago. BC3, just in the woods. We stayed there with our dog. And then we hiked out early that morning. I lost my camera. And that's this camera I'm still filming with right now.
I actually think that it was the next slide.
Yeah, someone found it and I came back and picked up the camera about 3 or 4 months later. We're coming up to some more cliff views right here. It's a long ways down there. You don't want to get too close. And this will be a BC2 campsite, just in the woods. We stayed there a few years ago, and I believe with our dog. This is actually, I think, a nicer area. I like the views from here. See the Lake of the Clouds off in the distance. Well, what do you think of this view?
Better than treetop. When everyone's drawn to the water.
And then the flowers are coming out.
Right?
Our hike is almost over, and it is definitely getting warm out. It's getting near 70 degrees. This morning it was 40, exactly 40 when I checked the pack. Well, you ready for the last about mile and a quarter? It's all easy hiking from here. We'll get to see some nice overlooks. Then it'll be about almost a mile walk, road walk down to the vehicle. And this is one of the best views in the park. You can see the people up on the overlook. That's a lookout. And right here is some of the geology of the escarpment. I had read this one other time. It's interesting how the Porcupine Mountains was formed. And get some one good last views before we hike back down to our vehicle and make our nice long drive. Now we get to start our road hike. Caution steep grades slow. I think we'll be going slow with our backpacks. Well, we're back at the vehicle. That'll complete our trip of just over 20 miles. I think it's like 20 and a half miles. Did the Lake Superior Trail. It was okay, but muddy. Our campsite was awesome on Lake Superior. Then our hike back up the Big Carp River Trail was nice. The stream crossing had some really nice views. A lot of bugs on this trip. Definitely a lot of bugs. But we'll catch you on the next adventure. Thanks for watching. Up Trail 71.